I will not let you grow weary. Not on my watch. Certainly not today. Not on my watch. I will not let you grow weary. A little extra hype this morning, a little shorter countdown. Hey, everybody, this is your day. This is your hype day. This is your day not to grow weary. I will not let you grow weary. Now, I know you're saying, Todd, why so much energy in the morning? I got to tell you that the problem here is that we need more energy. We need this energy to execute the day. We need this energy to spread our way. We need to understand that we must not give way. Galatians 6:9 is pretty clear. It says, let us not become weary in doing good. For the proper time, we will reap the harvest if we do not give up. We will reap the harvest if we do not give up. And I feel encouraged. I feel compelled. I feel like it's my job to explain to you today that we cannot give up. We can't give up at any time. We have to understand that there's times to rest. There is time to take accountants. There is time to repair and recover. But all of that process is in our process to continue. When we grow weary is that piece that we're starting to think about quitting. And I can't let you grow weary because that is the piece that happens just before quitting. And you say, Todd, why is this so important to you? You say, Todd, why are you always pushing people? Why are you always asking for more? I mean, because that's my job. My job is to love you. My job is to encourage you. My job is to inspire you. My job is to coach you. And if I'm going to coach you, I have to be compelled. I have to be called to make you better. The Apostle Paul talks about Galatians in Galatians 6:9. He says, listen, my friends, let us not become weary. Come on, let us not become weary in doing good. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Now, I'm going to talk to you today in this 15 minutes or so about the two pieces of what I'm trying to say to you. I'm like saying, I know you got to go to work. I know you got to get up. I know you got things to do. I know you got children to raise. I know you got bills to pay. I know you got bosses to please. I know you got clients to please. I know you got all these things going. I got the same thing. But here's what I'm trying to say is I can't have you grow weary. Now, I know you're going to grow weary at some time in your personal life, your business life, your competitive, like, let's get along to get along, but let's make some bank. Let's get it done. I get that. I know you're going to get weary, but I got to get you in front of that. I know that. But before I talk to you about the inspirational side of growing your life, growing your business, growing your relationships, growing yourself, I want you to understand exactly what the Apostle Paul's talking to you about today, because I'm going to give you 4 traits of not being weary. If you're not weary, these traits will come from you. I want you to be looking for these traits to keep you from being weary. 4 traits. But I want to break down Galatians 6:9 for you. I want to get right to work this morning. I hope you're feeling the energy, because I have it. I am in that go mode right now because I have to be. I have been tired. I have been worn down. I have been stressed. I have been perplexed. I have been pushed. I have been prodded. I have been pulled. I have been beaten down. I know. I get it, man, but we got to keep going. We cannot confront weariness. I want you to rest. But weary. That's right here before quitting. I can't let you get there. So the 2 pieces of of growing weary, the two pieces I want to inspire you in is this piece, first and foremost, the one that resonates right away when you hear this. Let us not become weary in doing good, for the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. We're going to focus on the word reap. But I want you to understand what Paul's saying here. Paul is talking to a church, a first church, if you will, that's converting Judaism, is converting people from one religious thought process and helping them understand that Christ has come, and they're blazing this trail, like literally a machete through a cornfield or a jungle, and they're explaining that Christ is here, he is real. And they faced a lot of persecution, a lot of pushback, even life and death situations. And Paul's saying, listen, my friends, don't give up. Let us not become weary in doing good, okay? In doing good. What is doing good? Doing good is sharing the Spirit, right? Sharing the goodness of God, sharing the gospel. Do not become weary in doing good. I made some note here. Good is not efforts in works, but is the life to please the Spirit. Right? Right. Effort is not just in doing works like going to work and tipping extra and giving compliments, doing good things of that nature, working just a little bit harder in the gym, doing one more rep, all that kind of stuff. That's work, and that's working hard in our personal life and not giving up, because we'll get the fruits from that. Of course, we could talk about that, but I want you to understand that the Apostle Paul is talking about do not become weary in doing good. And when he says in doing good, he means in spreading the Spirit, sharing the gospel, being what God has created us from the inside out, putting others first, thinking of kindness and goodness. Because there is a reap or a harvest if we do not give up in being good. So I'm going to close with that, but I want to inspire you with the same verse in your life today. I got a good friend I'm thinking about in my head who's just working every day so hard, man. He loves the Lord. And I just want to encourage you that all the traveling back and forth, all the hours in creating content, all the hours in raising children, all the hours in all the relationships, all the hours in your attitude, all the hours in equipping others, all the hours in everything that you're doing, all of you out there, I want you to know will come back in goodness, right? You will reap a harvest in that regards. You think about the football player, the professional athlete that does the lifting and does the running. You think about the boxer who's doing the boxing and doing the training, the Rocky Balboa, doing the one-hand push-ups and running up the stairs and doing all this and doing the thing at the top of the thing and everything. You're walking around and you come to the big fight, and all of a sudden, ding, 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 bah, 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 and you beat the opponent who was supposed to beat you, and yeah, all that stuff is happening. It's all the crowd noise, all the things that are going on, right? It happens. That is goodness in this world. That is goodness in this life. That is your reward for this work. God is a part of that. He's all of that. I think about raising my children. I think about the businesses. I think about even as I trained as an athlete. And I wanted to reap that harvest. I wanted to win, right? I knew it would come. And I always felt God would reward me for it. And I was very fortunate. Most of the time I won about a lot of things in life and sports and games. I reaped that reward. That was efforts in this world, in this processes of this world. And God is going to work for us in that regards. That God wants us to have these signs, wonders, and miracles. He wants us to have these benefits. He's a part of all of that stuff. Don't get me wrong. Don't hear me saying anything indifferent to that. I want you encouraged in that. I want the push-ups. I want the leg work. I want the back work. I want the biceps, right? I want all this stuff to work, and I want this to come out in you, and I want you to be rewarded. I want you to reap the harvest of your efforts in this world. I'm not taking that away from you 1 minute, but I want you to understand when God talks to us in Galatians about this, Galatians 6:9, let us not become weary in doing good. For the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And so in do not become weary in growing good is talking about you not becoming weary and sharing the Spirit of God in you. Take that same earthly work effort and put it over here into the Spirit sharing bucket, right? That work effort of Spirit sharing. Don't become weary in sharing the gospel. Don't become afraid to share the gospel. Don't become tired of sharing the gospel. Don't become afraid of sharing the gospel. Don't stop sharing the gospel. Do not stop emanating your Spirit. Do not hide behind a rock. Do not shrink, right? Do not stop. Do not become weary, because a harvest of goodness, a harvest of the Spirit within you to others is coming your way. Do not give up. And so what I thought would run down here in the last 5 minutes is the 4 traits of not becoming weary. What is it that people, the successful people in this world, are experiencing as not becoming weary? These are the things that I want you to be looking for in yourself. These are the things that I want you to understand that will keep you from becoming weary. I know I get giddy sometimes, but the bottom line is I love my job. I love the Spirit. I love what he gives me. People say, what is it about you? Where is all this energy? And I'm like, I don't feel like I feel tired. I feel well, but somehow I got that extra bump. That's really all I got. I'm not that smart. I'm just driven in the Spirit, and I can pick winners like nobody's business. Thank you, God. But when I feel weary, I get after it. I share it with God. And somehow he pulls me out of it. And that's what I want for you. I will not let you become weary. Where do we draw that strength? Number 1, if you want to reap the harvest of goodness of the Spirit, I want you to understand the 4 things that must become of you. Reap, R-E-A-P. Come on now, somebody. Number 1, relationships. R stands for relationships. You must have a strong family around you. You must have a strong team around you. You must have people around you that are going to build you and encourage you, because you are going to be building and encouraging them. You need to have relationships around you. The most successful people in reaping harvests of goodness of God in their spirit and not growing too weary and not quitting, they have relationships. You must have R in the word reap. 4 traits of wearilessness people is number 1, relationships, relationships, relationships. I have Chad, I have Heather, I have Abby, I have Jeannie, I have Chris, I have my amazing wife, Tracy, I have my children, I have my brother and my sister. I have all these people around me. I have relationships. I have people texting me, don't quit, don't quit, don't quit. Todd, I'm praying for you. I'm thinking about it. It happens all the time, every day. It's happening. It's happening. I have relationships. I cannot get past being weary if I don't have relationships. Number 2, you must equip others. You don't have to have a podcast, but I want you to equip others. I need you to have others on your roster that you're sharing with, you're pouring into, right? These relationships that are supporting you and growing you and being around you, you need to equip them in your own arsenal of leadership. The Spirit that God gave you, you need to share it. We can't just go deep in the Bible. We have to become deep in our attitude from what the Bible is giving us to love others, right? We talked about that yesterday. Number one is relationships. Number two is equipping. R is for relationship. E is for equipping. And three is attitude. Attitude, attitude, attitude. Everybody's got great attitude when they win the lottery. Come on now, somebody, you win the lottery, you don't need that. That doesn't count. You're paying everybody. You're popular. You just won the lottery. But if you need attitude, you need it when you're down, when you're weary, when you're tired, when you feel forsaken and there's nowhere to go. That's when attitude matters. You have to have attitude. You ask me, what is it? What is it? I'm telling you, man, the inner peace, the spirit within you, the spirit within me is this attitudinal disorder that shakes things up when things aren't going right. You have to turn the switch. You have to. Relationship, equipping, attitudinal disorder. That's spirit attitudinal disorder. One of which the world cannot give you because you are a misfit. Rejoice in it. Celebrate in it. That's us. That's our team. We're wired differently. And last but not least, peace. Knowing that you're working on relationships, knowing that you're equipping others, knowing that this attitudinal disorder, this misfit in you, this us not being a part of this world because you're wired differently and you're having the spirit of goodness first and foremost, putting others in front of you and balancing and working on these traits, right? And harmonizing your life and all these things gives you peace because you have left it on the field. Because you left it on the field. Because you built yourself with relationships. You equipped others. You have that attitudinal disorder of misfitness and being wired differently. You have peace. That it will always come through for you. This, I'm grateful. This is reaping. This is not becoming weary in doing good. For the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. What a great message. Come on now, somebody, get your shirt, get your jersey, wear God on your chest, wear him on your back, wear him on your sleeve. Come on now, we have got to put our God first. We've got to put our jersey first. Remember, we said this is our sign. This helps us be accountable. But today we are reaping, right? We are reaping the harvest for not giving up. And we do that through relationships. We do that through equipping. We do that through attitudinal disorder, our misfitness. And then that gives us the peace. Come on, help this organization out, this mindset movement, mission, and ministry. Go to wireddifferently.com and put in the promo code WIRED15 and get an additional 15% off on your shirt, your sweatshirt, your t-shirt, your hoodie, whatever it is there. Go, there's some 70 to pick from. Love these orders come in. We can use your help. God bless you. It was a great, great show today. Remember, I want you to reap the weariness reward, the lack of weariness and the rewards of it, which is peace. Come on now, somebody.